I'm going to show you in 2 simple steps how to completely change your dating life. Now, the idea behind it is very simple. I want you to become a lover of women. This isn't just some cheesy thing that I'm saying to sound nice on a video. It's a real thing that you can become, and it's something that you actually practice to become. Now, following these 2 steps that are going to make you a lover of women are, well, the second step is especially difficult, and it's going to take time and practice, but it can be done. And what's going to end up happening once you start practicing it, and what will become your default settings, is that every woman that you're going to meet, be it grandma or the most beautiful woman that you've ever seen in your life standing in front of you at Starbucks, you are going to have unconditional love for these women. Now, I understand. This probably sounds very weird, very stupid, or just impossible, but it's not. And I also understand that while there are a lot of great women out there, there's also a lot of not so great women. And these women are probably going to reject you. They're not going to reciprocate this love. And you're going to be left wondering, why am I giving all of this love to all of these women who don't appreciate it? Now, this question a little bit already misses the point, and you're going to understand that by the end of the video. But it's completely understandable and justifiable. Because you should be asking, what do I get out of this? I'm just going to ask that even if you don't know me, I want you to trust me for just a couple minutes, and I'll explain in detail why this is an awesome thing to do, why you should do it, and what you can get out of it. I'll also explain why this isn't simping and why we're not going to have to marry every single girl that we meet because we have this unconditional love for all women. Now, what do you get out of this? Well, personally, as someone who embodies and practices what I'm explaining in this video, I can tell you that besides my ruthless honesty, this love for women is probably the single greatest reason why I've had so much success with dating and relationships. You see, there's 2 types of love that you can have for women. The first is the love that you normally think of when you think, I'm in love with this woman. What you're saying is, I love something about you or something that you give me. I love your body, I love your smile, I love your laugh, your sense of humor, your intelligence, etc. This is a love that wants and receives. Then there's a second kind of love that just gives, and that's all it does, is it just gives. And this kindness and love is going to completely change your dating life just as it changed mine. If you truly embody this love, you're not going to be the guy who walks around and is completely rejected by every woman that he tries to talk to. You're also not going to be the guy who walks around and feels completely invisible to women. And what's even better is that all of that anger and rejection and sadness that you have towards women, it's going to completely evaporate. We're going to engulf that darkness in light. And I promise you, this is not some pussy-ass fake love where we're going to sit around in a drum circle and sing Kumbaya, or I'm going to kiss the ground that every woman walks on. This is a genuine, sincere, powerful love that burns with big dick energy, and it's going to make women want to suck you dry. Women are going to be drawn to you specifically because of this energy. And if you really apply what I'm telling you, what's going to happen is, if you remember those old Axe body spray commercials where the guy would spray himself and then all the women would just chase after him, now, I can't promise that it's going to be exactly like that because that would be a lie. But compared to probably what you're experiencing right now in your dating life, it's going to feel as if it's that dramatic of a change. When you talk to women, it's going to feel like they're actually listening and paying attention to you and want to contribute to conversation, not as if they're just being polite like they have to talk to you. Instead of girls responding with one-word texts, you're actually going to get responses from women when you're texting them that have energy and effort. They're going to be flaking less, and you're going to get less texts like these. They're going to be more forgiving of your personality quirks and your flaws and your mistakes. They're going to be more sexually open to you and very soft and feminine and even submissive. They're not going to make you wait X amount of time or X amount of dates until they let you have sex with them like they make all the other guys wait for this rule. And they're definitely not going to friend zone you. Now, how can unconditional love for women possibly have this effect? Because it really sounds like simping. Well, it's quite simple, actually. They're going to be more willing to everything I just explained because they know that you care about them. They know, or more importantly, they can feel that your interactions with them, your words and your behaviors. They have genuine goodwill and love behind them. You see, most men do not actually feel love for women. They think they care about women, but they just kind of like what women can give them. And to be completely honest, most men really don't offer that much in return for what they want from women. You see, men want all of this loyalty and affection and sex and love and etc. But what do they give in return? To be frank, most men provide jack shit and fuck all. But let me be clear, there is self-interest behind what I'm teaching you. I'm not denying that when you interact with a woman that you are attracted to, you have a goal in mind. You do want their time and affection in their body and their mouth and their holes. You should not, and I will not advise that you hide these intentions from women either in your actions or in your words. Nor am I advising that you hide this from yourself like a lot of guys do, where they'll kind of deny that they have these urges to be sexual with women. And it's precisely this self-interest and the transparency of this self-interest that is going to prevent this unconditional love from turning into simping. It's also going to prevent you from thinking that I have to somehow actually fall in love with all these women and marry every single woman that I meet, because that's not in your self-interest. I mean, think about it. How can you be a simp when you're coming to women that you're attracted to with clear, unambiguous intentions to bend her over and fuck her brains out? You want to get to know her as a person. You want to learn her ambitions, her fears, her hopes, her dreams, and really get to know who she is as a person. You see her as a person, but you also see her as someone that you want to put your dick inside of.
Oh my God!
These two motivations are not incompatible. And we're not playing some game where we make every woman think that we're in love with them and that we're going to give them the entire world and kind of dupe them into having sex with us, but then we're just going to get our nut off and then we're going to go, ha ha ha, you fell for it.
You fell victim to one of the classic blunders.
That's not what we're doing. We are lovers of women, yes, but we only have so much time and energy, and we only have one dick and one body to share. But here's the cool part, none of that. Absolutely none of what I just said prevents us from having unconditional love towards all women. And women are going to cherish you for having this unconditional love for all women in ways that you can't even begin to fathom unless you start to practice it. Because as I said before, most men don't actually love women, and they don't give women this love. Because a man who gives this love is going to continue to give this love even if it's not returned. You see, most men, when they give their love, if it's not reciprocated, they yank it back and they get upset. Like when I used to work in clubs and I would work with these gorgeous women, these guys would come up, they would shoot their shot and give her a compliment. And the woman would either be polite or not so polite about it. And the first reaction of these guys would be, yeah, well, you're ugly anyways. And it's like, dude, that's obviously bullshit. You just give her a compliment. So did you lie? No, you were giving her appreciation with something in return in mind, but when you weren't given anything in return, you yanked that love away. And women see this, and they see it a lot, so they obviously become very suspicious of the intentions of men. Or what happens is a man will give his all to a woman, but he'll do it with no self-interest in mind and no self-respect, and then women will take advantage of him. We are not doing any of this. We're gonna have unconditional love for all women. But when it comes time for us to go talk to her, we're gonna shoot our shot. But if we get rejected, we're gonna leave our gift on her doorstep and walk away. Do you see? Most men walk up, knock on her door, and offer the gift. She likes the gift, she just doesn't like the person behind it. So you leave the gift and you walk away if she rejects you. Most men take the gift with them when they walk away. So I'm going to say this again. We are going to have unconditional love for all women. But when we go and approach a girl that we are attracted to with this love in our hearts, we're also going to shoot our shot because we want to get in her pants. If that's accepted, great. She has our love and our dick. But if she rejects us as a romantic or sexual option, then we leave, but it doesn't change our love for her. And remember, this is the second type of love. You can obviously take your first love away because that type of love is dependent on whether she is reciprocating and giving us love and affection and sex in return for our love, affection, and sex. And what's funny is that once you embody this mentality and you put it into practice, and it becomes something that you didn't just see on a YouTube video, but something that you really believe, women are gonna respond to you in ways that you can't even fucking begin to understand. But it has to be real for it to work. And it's not gonna be real the first couple times that you do it. And if you just fake it, women are gonna smell that bullshit from a mile away, I promise you. So we have to make it real. Now, how do we make it real? Well, we literally make it real. We create it by practicing it. Having unconditional love for women is a skill, and once you cultivate it to a sufficient degree, you will see firsthand your dating life will change. Now, you can practice this skill in two ways. The first, it's pretty easy. The second one is a bit more difficult, but just like the last few reps in a difficult workout, it's going to be the thing that contributes to the most growth. So let's start with the first one. Every woman that you pass by on the street, at work, at school, in the subway, on the bus, doesn't matter. I want you to have thoughts and images of unconditional love towards her. So you walk past a pretty girl. I want you to have images in your head of her smiling, of her being happy, of her being healthy. And you can also add into this romantic and sexual thoughts and images. You kissing her, you holding her hand, you bending her over and ravaging her pussy. Use your creativity and have fun with it. Some people are more visual and some people are more conceptual. You can even repeat mantras in your head, like, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you have an orgasm every single night. You can even do this while you're talking to a girl. I've personally practiced this while I was on a date with a girl. Now, this is a bit difficult because you have to have a conversation while you're having all these images in your head, but it is possible. And it will change the way that you're interacting with him. So these images and these thoughts should have something to do with her being happy. And you can also intermingle it with sexual and romantic intentions between you and her. However, here's where it becomes unconditional. You need to do it for every single woman that you see, because that's the definition of unconditional. It is without condition. So you can't only do it for women that you're attracted to, because that's a condition. So you need to also do this towards women you're not attracted to. And how you do that is very simple. You just keep the first part. You just keep the goodwill in mind, and then you just take out the sexual and romantic parts. But the part that never leaves is that you want her to be happy. And maybe if she's attracted to you as well, then you can be a part of that happiness, and you can make her smile, and you can give her a loving, fulfilling relationship, or at the very least, a nice, wet, well-fucked pussy. And that's it. You just keep training those thoughts and those images as much as you can until it becomes your default settings, something that you just do automatically. Now, the second step, as I explained earlier, is more difficult. But as I said, it's gonna contribute to the greatest amount of growth. And it's very simple, in theory. I want you to take that practice and apply it to every woman from your past who has hurt you or rejected you or made you feel bad in any way. And I don't care what women have done to you, I've probably experienced it. And even though I experienced horrible things with women, I'm still able to have this attitude towards them. And personally, it's not perfect yet, or I would be on a certain level of enlightenment, but it is quite powerful. Now, this second part, you're going to resist this. You're gonna think, no, an eye for an eye, screw those girls, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm just gonna ask you a very simple question. What's more important to you, your anger or your happiness? Now, for a lot of you, the answer is actually your anger is more important, but it's only the answer because for you, your anger brings happiness. It brings you the satisfaction of hating those who have hurt you. And somehow it feels like revenge. And that revenge, that feeling of getting back at them by holding that hate in your heart, it's satisfying. But what if I could promise you a higher happiness than that? And alongside that, an energy and a vibe that completely changes the way that women interact with you. What sounds like the better deal? So, recall in your mind right now the last 3 women who have hurt you, made you feel bad, they ignored you, they rejected you, she cheated on you, whatever. The worst that she hurt you, the more powerful this practice is going to be. I want you to imagine a picture frame with her and a husband and a family and being happy and wealthy and having a long life and just having everything they could ever want. Now, when you feel the urge to destroy this picture frame in your mind and just smash it to a million pieces, after you do smash it, just bring it back. Like you're reversing time, and it just comes back together. And again, and again, and again, and again. Eventually, with practice, the times when you reconfigure that picture frame is going to overpower the desire to smash it into a million pieces. And eventually, like I said, with a lot of practice, that beautiful picture frame is going to stay hung up on the wall of your mind, and you're not going to want to smash it. And here's a very good sign that this practice starts to work. You're probably going to be crying a lot. And I just want you to accept these tears and understand that it's nothing more than fire in your heart being extinguished and some steam is just coming out. So just keep practicing this over and over and over, both steps 1 and step 2. And if you need some motivation to practice this, just remember what I'm promising you. Remember that the work in front of you, while difficult, has something better than the pain you're enduring right now. I'm promising you a better dating life. A dating life where women pay attention to you, they listen to you, they love you, and they want to suck you dry. And with this change, you can then create the dating life that you want, whether it's a lot of women or just one woman. But this is a vital part of your journey with dating and relationships. Think of it as an unskippable cutscene in a video game. So you really fucking need to pay attention to it because it's integral to the plot, your story. And yes, of course, there's a lot more to dating than just this. You need to learn how to actually talk to women, how to text her, how to ask her out, how to blah, blah, blah. And if you want to learn all of that technical stuff, then subscribe to my channel and watch for more videos, and also check out my Patreon in the description, where you can find much more nitty-gritty educational videos, where it's less of this big ideas and marketing stuff, and it's just focused on how to do this, how to do that, how to do this. And I also have some books and courses that you can find in the description if you're interested. But this unconditional love for women will be the foundation of almost everything that you do. Without this unconditional love, you can still find success with women, but it's gonna be hollow. And I don't advise following that path, because at the end of that road is not a lot of happiness. This is Hector Castillo. I love you and wish you all the happiness in the world. Go fuck yourself. Bye.